Hello and welcome to Moneylife. This is Sucheta Dalal. This time we're talking about something which is 30 years old. Yeah, the Harshad Mehta scam. Many of you have heard about it because of a very popular television serial called Scam 92. It was another century, another time where there was barely an internet, no mobile phones, and all of you thought you were looking at a piece of history, right? I mean, guess what? That investigation not only continues, but the twists and tales in the investigation continue to stun even someone like me who actually broke the story in 92. So here's what happened on 6th of May, as recently as this. There was an order passed by a special court in Mumbai about a hearing relating to Scam 92. Now what has happened over there? Harshad Mehta's family, all of them together as a group, are represented by his brother Ashwin Mehta. You would have seen him also in the scam serial. He's now become an advocate over the years, understands more about the scam than anybody else, and he is appearing for the entire family as well as some others who retain his professional services. Now, what happened on the court that day was Ashwin had moved in 2021 an application to say that things have changed over the last 29 years. And we now as a family have assets which are far in excess of the liabilities. Now, what are the liabilities? The claims that banks, the income tax department and others have made against the family. So he has been saying to people as well as the court that he is due to get refunds of 5,500 crore. What happened in 92 was that the government promulgated a new act under which a special court was set up in Mumbai for expeditious or fast hearing of scam cases. Yes, it's a joke. The cases continue. There's nothing fast about them. Under this court, there was the office of the custodian. So each time someone was accused in the scam, their assets were attached and frozen and kept with the custodian. Even when they had to recover money from someone, it is the custodian that recovered that money and it has been collecting it. Both, like I have said before in another video blog, have become like permanent bodies and continue to exist. So what Ashwin Mehta has been saying is that the Harshad family has to get refunds of 5,500 crore and the custodian's office says not correct. There are lots of other claims from banks and especially by the income tax department. Ashwin Mehta has been arguing that most of these claims have been discredited and they don't stand anymore. It's just that the case is stuck, which is quite true. Now, a few days before this case came up, on 2nd May to be precise, a newspaper report said that the finance ministry had finally got tired and said, let's dispose this case quickly. And they wanted a dedicated bench to be hearing these on a day-to-day basis because the tax claims are humongous. I'm going to come to how big that is in a minute. But no dedicated bench has been set up. Very conveniently, the story happened on May 2nd. May 6th, there is an order by Justice AK Menon of the Special Court in Mumbai. He said, sorry, I don't agree with any of this. The gap is still huge. In fact, there's a detailed hearing that happened and the order, there's an 11-page order which has put out a table in the order which is like this. It says, sorry Ashwin, we don't believe you. The total assets according to the custodian are 3,605 crore. The total liabilities are over 22,606 crore. You're looking at the table right here. It's also got a breakup. How much is bank deposits? Over 1,200 crore. Listed shares over 2,000 crore. Immovable assets, recoverable amounts. The income tax demands not precisely spelled out. But read this over here. We're showing it to you. Point is, it's huge. It's over 19,000 crore. Can this be correct? I mean, look at it. To put a context to this, the scam in 92 was 5,000 crore. Today, and Harshad was just one of the players. Today, the Harshad's assets themselves are supposed to be 5,500 crore. But let's go into it one by one. Why did Justice Menon dismiss Mehta's application? He said without costs, okay. He said something else which is very interesting. It is that the registry of the special court will not register any further application for release of funds from the attached assets of the Harshad Mehta family. That means don't come to us again, do not make any further applications. Why is it the court said this? Because obviously Harshad Mehta has been making repeated applications, about 8 of them apparently from 2011-12. It's their money, they have a right to keep making applications. Question that the judge looked at is, are their claims true and what do they have to look at? So Ashwin Mehta argued in detail that several cases have gone to the Supreme Court, one pertaining to his mother, another his brother, another Jyoti Mehta, who's Harshad Mehta's wife, and in each case there have been decisions which actually put us in a better position. So there is a absolutely simple bone of contention over here. One is whether Harshad Mehta should be looked at as a group, which includes Ashwin, the 3 brothers, a sister, the mother, the wives, and of course now Harshad's son. In this application, they say Harshad's mother had said that she wants to have nothing to do with the group assets, and his son has said the same thing. That must be for strategic reasons. We don't know what that is, but the rest of the family is a group. Question is, should they be looked at as a group or should their assets be looked at individually? So Ashwin had argued, for instance, that the mother has more assets than liabilities and that it should be looked at not as a group but separately. The custodian has said, sorry, we don't agree with this. This has been settled by the Supreme Court. I mean, these arguments are happening 30 years later. I am completely with you if you wonder what on earth are we arguing about. But this is what has happened. Even after something has been decided by the Supreme Court, it comes back to the special court and there's an argument about whether it should be seen as a group or not. The judge in the special court has said, sorry, I'm going to look at it as a group. I'm going to go by what the custodian has said. It's not going to look at the 2011 order pertaining to Rasila Mehta, who's Harshad's mother. Now, the numbers quoted by the custodian's office, like I said, are quite mind-boggling since the interest clock has been ticking. And it says that as of 31st July 2021, 22,606 crore. Like I said, there were so many players in the scam and the total scam was 5,000 crores. So Standard Chartered, Canara Bank with CanBank Financial Services, CanBank Mutual Fund, Fair Growth, then State Bank of India where it all started, other banks, Allahabad Bank and others, and some including the foreign banks which didn't even make claims and very smartly stayed out of this whole mess. But whole bunch of public sector banks were involved. So Harshad was not the only player. Even in terms of brokers, there were plenty of brokers, few large ones being Bhupen Dalal, the group connected with Standard Chartered, and Hiten Dalal, and several others. Yet, we are now only talking about one group where they say this is the huge amount involved. Now, Ashwin argued that Rasila Mehta has not done any work, has apparently assets of 938 crore and liabilities of 102 crores. Obviously, the judge has argued that money was moved into all these accounts and operations, securities operations happened through them. There is merit in that argument, and the point is 30 years later, arguments and cases in the Supreme Court, nothing decided. It remains an open issue. The special court has said, I will not accept that your assets are higher than your liabilities until the tax case is decided. Special court has also said that it has declined to go into whether the tax department's claims are correct and accurate. If you ask me, I also believe they're exaggerated. The question is how exaggerated. There has to be a finality, because on that number depends the settling of this Harshad Mehta case, which is a key case in the scam investigations. So if it's come down, if it's a few thousand crore, if it comes down to maybe less than 2,000 crore, then Ashwin is right, his assets are higher than his liabilities. We don't know what that is. Special court has refused to go into it. It has also refused to accept Ashwin Mehta's arguments that the family assets were significantly higher. Now, what the court seems to be irritated about is that Ashwin Mehta made 8 applications before different judges of the special court with the same thing. Give me money. Even this application started with a simple premise. I'm a lawyer, I'm appearing for the family, I need to pay paid 3 crores in legal fees and professional fees. So all 8 applications were similar, asking for tax consultants to be paid, professionals, and advocates, counsel's fees to be paid. The court has been hearing, it has been dismissed. There's been one dismissed again in 2013, and the court says we've spent considerable time and invested time in hearing this and disposing applications repeatedly, so no more applications. What does this mean? It means that until the income tax decides, that hearing is done, hopefully they listen to the finance minister, this case will just keep dragging on for more than 30 years. The right and wrong, frankly, is less relevant. If India cannot handle serious financial scandals and dispose them off, punish the guilty, let off the innocent, then the process itself is the punishment. And remember, we are not talking about those who are guilty dragging it along, but even the innocents who have caught in it have been caught up for 30 years. The process is the punishment, both for the guilty and the innocent. The scam was just 5,000 crore. Today we are talking in numbers of 22,000 crore about one family. That means the interest clock is ticking, makes a mockery of the entire system, and it needs to be resolved. And until you know about it, you're not going to know how bad the system is, because what happened 30 years ago has not changed. If anything, the judicial system is more broken and more slow, and every one of us has to worry about it. If you like this video, please subscribe, please tell others about it, and forward it. Thank you so much.